is Marge O'Brien. I'm the Bereavement and Pastoral Care Associate here at St. Walter Church, and I'm talking to you about hope in your grief. You know, there's all kinds of grief. We have grief, intense grief, where you've lost a child or a spouse, or even a pet, if you consider them your children. And then we have anticipatory grief, where before a holiday, before a birthday, anytime the family members will start grieving even more. And there's ambiguous grief, which we've seen a lot of recently because of COVID-19. These are families that took their loved one to the hospital and never got to see them again. And even after they died, they were just put in a casket and buried. And this is probably one of the hardest types of grief, because you have nothing except a death certificate, and that's it. And we have a problem with that. We can't have closure. We can't have peace, because the people that have this kind of death are like a yo-yo. One day they'll think the person's coming home, the next day they think that they're never coming home again. But they can never quite mesh it. It takes a long time and a lot of work to mesh those, to finally get them to a point where they can accept the death. Now, when we grieve on 5 different areas. We grieve socially, spiritually, emotionally, mentally, and physically. I know after my son died, I had been writing in a journal, and a couple of years later I was reading the journal, and I saw where I'd written a year later after his death that I couldn't accept the death emotionally. And that's not unusual. It takes a long time to work through all those memories, all those times, all those feelings, and then to finally accept the death. So we need to be able to accept it, though, because that's what gives us peace and closure. So one of the things I think that might be helpful is to think about near-death experiences. Dr. Raymond Moody wrote a couple of books about it. He interviewed people, and they said they went to heaven, they went to a bright light. God was loving, even though he was huge and he had all this beautiful white light. It didn't hurt their eyes. They had a life's review, and it was not judgmental, and none of them felt any pain. And there's about 5 million people documented cases of near-death experiences that we know of. And I kind of think that God did that for a reason, helped us to find CPR, so that maybe we would feel more peace about it if we knew that this is what heaven was like, and what we're going to go towards, and what our loved ones have gone to. We don't have to worry about them. They're okay. So we get peace by being in sync with ourselves and others too. And that's not always possible. Right now, everything's so up and down, so insecure, that it's very hard to have peace. It's uncertain times. We're trying to figure this out. We're trying to put our trust in God, and yet, it's scary. It is a scary time. So some of the things that we might try are meditation to de-stress, prayers, of course, yoga. I don't think I could do it. I don't think my parts would move in those directions, but if you can do it, it's supposed to be helpful. Nature. I like to play a tape of the ocean, the sounds of the water coming back and forth. It is so nice and soothing. Whatever helps you to find peace is what's really important. We need to be centered in ourselves and to feel that calm, and it's kind of like you feel like, I know He's with me. I know God's with me. I know I'm okay. That kind of centered feeling, that's when we have peace. So don't forget TLC every day. And let me say a prayer for you. Dear Jesus, please watch over us, keep us safe, and be with us every day. We ask this in your sweet name. Amen. God bless you all.